Okay, like a social problem. Novels where you can say that written in the particular matter of social issues. Okay, in novel you can say that novel by Charles Dickens and Elizabeth Gaskell that talked about the social condition of the England. Means in the novel, social issues depicted in the novel. It's a main theme of the novel. Right now, influence of science and religion. Earlier, I told about the Darwin's on origin of species by natural selections and influence the works of Tennyson, Arnold, and Carlyle. Now here is a novel. Novel is a most, you can say that a novel became the most popular genre at those time. Okay, here is a became the most popular form of literature, and paper and printing cost became cheaper. Demand for books increased. Novel became a very popular. Okay. Now you can say that in a romantic period, poetry is dominant those time. Means a poetry genre is dominant, and like this in this period means sorry, Victorian period novel. Novel is a dominant okay genre. Now here is a Victorian morality and revolt. Now here is a next. Who are the notable writers and their works of this age? Okay, it's important, and you can say that's most important. Representative poet of Victorian era, Alfred Tennyson. Representative novelist, Charles Dickens. And most pessimist poet, Matthew Arnold. Optimistic poet, Robert Browning. Most pessimist novelist, Thomas Hardy. Okay, it's most important. Now, keep in our mind. Okay, here is a some eras are related, you can say that date by sequences. Like in 1830s, Thomas Carlyle, Sartor Resartus, and Thomas Macaulay, lay of ancient Rome. Now in 1840s, Emile Bronte, Wuthering Heights, important. In a previous exam of Bihar, you can see this question. Okay. Now, Chortle Bronte, Jane Eyre, William Makepeace Thackeray, Vanity Fair. You know what's the subtitle of this novel? Vanity Fair. Yes. Anyone? इस जो वर्क है वैनिटी फेयर का एक और सब टाइटल है, कई बार पूछा गया है, कोई बताएगा क्या है इसका सब टाइटल? ओके, अ नॉवल विदाउट अ हीरो, इसका सब टाइटल है. ओके, ध्यान रखिएगा, क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है. ओके, नाउ हियर इज अ चार्ल्स डिकेंस, डेविड कॉपरफील्ड and the great expectation. You can see this in a LT prescribed work. Okay, in LT prescribed work. And here is a 1860 Lewis Carroll, Alice Adventures in Wonderland. Now George Eliot, Middlemarch, Robert Browning, The Ring and the Book. Oscar Wilde, The Picture of Dorian Gray. Thomas Hardy, Tess. Yes, it's also important. Tess of G. Arborvillage. Now, 1880s, George Bernard Shaw, G.B. Shaw, Man and Superman in Pygmalion. Robert Louis Stevenson, Treasure Island. Okay, now 1890, H.G. Wells, The Time Machine, important work. Okay, and the World War, The War of the Worlds. Okay, Rudyard Kipling, The Jungle Book, well known. Yes. Now here is a major author of the age. Everything is clear? Yes.
Ma'am, yes.
Okay. Major author of the age. Here is a poetry. Some important poets I will point out, like Alfred Tennyson and Robert Browning, Philip James Bailey, Matthew Arnold, and Arthur Hugh Clarke, you know well. Okay. And here is Elizabeth, Elizabeth Barrett Brownie, and Dizzy Rossetti. Okay. Now, Thomas Hardy, it's a poet. Okay. Now, general prose. In prose, Thomas Carlyle and John Ruskin, Matthew Arnold. Okay. Now, in novel, Charles Dickens and Charlotte Bronte, W.M. Thackeray, Emile Bronte, George Eliot. Now, Shariza, what are the important literary devices used? Okay, then you can say that stream of consciousness. It's the main literary devices used in a Victorian era. Stream of consciousness is a narrative technique that presents the continuous flow of thought. Okay, feelings, thoughts continuously we use in our work. That's called stream of consciousness. Now, example, you can say that in Charlton Bronte's novel Willet, and here is the interior monologue. Important word. Okay, example in a George Eliot's novel Middlemarch. It's the example of interior monologue. Okay. Now, what's the meaning of interior monologue? Interior monologue is a technique that allows readers to directly access a character's thoughts, feeling, and reflections. Okay. Now, next, flashback. Flashback is a literary device that interrupts the chronological flow of narrative to present events that occurred earlier in time. You can say that example of in Thomas Hardy's novel Jude the Obscure. Now, multiple perspective in Victorian literature often embraced the use of multiple perspective. Okay, presenting events and situations from different characters' viewpoints. Okay, you can say that in example in Walkis Collins' novel The Woman in White. Now, social realism. Social realism is a literary approach that focus on the depiction of the contemporary social issues. Earlier, I told about this. Epiphany, Epiphany, you know, the celebration of Jesus, na? Okay, Epiphany is a literary device that involves a sudden realization or revelation experienced by a character. Okay, now, an example in James Joyce, short story, Araby. And here is a sensationalism. Sensationalism refers to the use of thrilling or shocking events. Okay, it's a sensationalism. Example in Valky's Collins novel, The Moonstone. Now, social satire. Social satire, you can say that the satire involves the use of humor, irony, exaggeration to criticize or mock societal customs, norms, or behavior. Example, Oscar Wilde's play, The Importance of Being Earnest. Now, psychological realism and the social commentary through symbolism. It's a most important literary device that's period used by author and writer. Here is a multiple choice questions. Okay, are you ready for replying? Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ready है आंसर रिप्लाई करने के लिए?
Ready
Okay,
हैं?
now question number. Okay, question number first. What time period does the Victorian period refer to? कौन से पीरियड में आया था बताइए? विक्टोरियन पीरियड कहाँ से कहाँ तक माना जाता है? अभी आंसर भी
37
दिख
से
जा रहा है.
1901 तक।
B option सही.
Yes, very nice. Yes, in 1837 to 1901. Next. Yes. What was a significant development during the Victorian era regarding the economy and society? Yes, what should be
Industrial
correct?
revolution. Industrial.
Yes, very nice. Industrial revolution. Okay. Now, question number 3. Which social class included professionals, merchants, and prosperous businessmen in Victorian society? Yes,
Working class.
middle class.
Upper class.
Yes. Option B should be correct. No, middle class, not upper class. No? Now, question number 4. What was a prominent characteristic of Victorian morality and value? Yes, prominent characteristic. Then what should be correct? Emphasize on proper behavior.
behavior.
Yes, very nice. Option B should be correct. Now,
B.
what were women? Yes, what were women generally expected to focus on a Victorian society? Then what should be correct? Domestic and virtuous roles, na? Yes.
मैम ऑप्शन नहीं दिख रहा।
Okay, okay. अभी दिखा?
जी मैम।
हाँ, क्योंकि
जी
मैंने बताया था कि जो लेडीज का काम होता था घर संभालना होता था, उन्हें वोट देने का भी अधिकार जब 30 साल की हुई तब उनको मिलने लगा। हालांकि फिर मॉडिफाई किया गया, हमने उसको डिटेल में आप लोग को समझा दिया है। आगे नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, who were some notable Victorian authors mentioned in the text? What should be correct? Yes,
Dickens, Austen, Bronte, Wright.
Dickens. Very nice. Yes, Dickens, Austen, Bronte, and Wilde, no, Oscar Wilde. Now, during Queen Victoria's reign, what happened to the British Empire? क्या होता है ब्रिटिश एम्पायर में? तो उनका विस्तार होता है ना, इट एक्सपैंडेड
Mul-
सिग्निफिकेंटली, बहुत तेजी से विस्तार होता है। मतलब ऐसा समझिए कि विक्टोरियन पीरियड में अगर और पीरियड से कंपेयर किया जाए तो जो 300 सालों में डेवलपमेंट नहीं हुआ, विक्टोरियन पीरियड के 30 सालों में ही हो गया। ओके, देन ऑप्शन सी शुड बी करेक्ट। नाउ हियर इज अ क्वेश्चन नंबर 8, which of the following values was not a part of a Victorian value mentioned? Yes, anarchy and revolution। क्या नहीं होता है यहाँ पे, नॉट बोल रहा है, ये विक्टोरियन पीरियड में नहीं मेंशन हुआ था, एनार्की एंड रिवेलियन नहीं देखने को मिला था। ठीक है,
जी मैम।
आगे देख लेते हैं। यस, व्हाट वाज द रोल ऑफ एजुकेशन इन विक्टोरियन सोसाइटी? देन इट वाज अ क्रूशियल फॉर पर्सनल ग्रोथ। यस, पर्सनल ग्रोथ के लिए बहुत ज्यादा क्रूशियल टाइम माना गया था ना, बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट। ऑप्शन बी शुड बी करेक्ट। गलत लग गया है, बी यहाँ पर है। ठीक है, okay, now next question, which literary movement emerged during the Victorian era that reflected social issue and moral dilemmas? Then what should be correct? Question फिर से देख लीजिए, कौन सा लिटरेरी मोमेंट था, इमर्ज हुआ ड्यूरिंग विक्टोरियन एरा that reflected social issue and moral dilemmas? Yes, realist
Realist
moment.
moment.
What should, yes, option B should be correct. Very nice. Now, who wrote Wuthering Heights? Just अभी हम लोगों ने बात किया, 1840 में देखने
Emily
को मिलता है,
Bronte.
कौन होगा?
Emily
Emily
Bronte.
Bronte।
Yes, Emily Bronte।
ये तो
Yes,
बिहार में
बिहार के भी
पढ़ा
जो
है।
प्रीवियस,
जी जी जी, बिहार में पढ़ा हमने इसको।
यस, बिहार के प्रीवियसली क्वेश्चन पूछा गया क्वेश्चन है। ध्यान रखिएगा, यहाँ जितने क्वेश्चंस पढ़ाए जा रहे हैं, जो चीज मटेरियल प्रोवाइड कराई जा रही है, एग्जाम ओरिएंटेड मटेरियल है, ध्यान रखिएगा। बहुत ही ध्यान से, बहुत ही केयरफुली आप लोग इसको अच्छे से पढ़िए। ओके, व्हाट वाज अ सिग्निफिकेंट पॉलिटिकल चेंज ड्यूरिंग द विक्टोरियन एरा? यस, शिफ्ट फ्रॉम मोनार्की टू डेमोक्रेसी। हमने बताया ना कि जो मोनार्की का टाइम था उसको वो सिकुड़ने लगा, सिंक होने लगा, और डेमोक्रेसी बहुत ज्यादा एक्सपैंड होने लगा, फैलने लगा। ठीक है ना, लोग बोले कि ये ऐसा राजा ही क्यों, हम क्यों नहीं, वो सवाल आने लगे, बहुत ज्यादा लॉजिकल लोग होने लगे। ओके, नाउ क्वेश्चन नंबर 13, which literary device involves the continued flow of thoughts without tradition, sense structure or punctuation? Yes, what should
Stream
be
of
correct?
consciousness.
Very nice. Stream of consciousness. Option C should be correct. Next question, question number 14. What did the Victorian society value in terms of work and success? Then
Hard
here is
work, perseverance, and self-improvement.
a very nice hard work, perseverance and self improvement. लोग बहुत ज्यादा कठिन परिश्रम करने लगे, कर्म पे यकीन करने लगे, भाग्य के सहारे बैठना बंद कर दिए। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर 15, हु रोट द पिक्चर ऑफ डोरियन ग्रे? अभी जस्ट इसको हमने हाईलाइट किया था, लेकिन आप लोगों ने अगर देखा होगा तो बताइए जल्दी से, इसका क्या होना चाहिए? द पिक्चर ऑफ डोरियन ग्रे। यस,
Oscar Wilde.
वेरी नाइस, ऑस्कर वाइल्ड। ऑप्शन
Wilde.
बी शुड बी करेक्ट। यस, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन 16, व्हाट वाज द रोल ऑफ रिलीजन इन विक्टोरियन लाइफ? यस, व्हाट शुड बी करेक्ट?
Significant role.
यस, रिलीजियन जो टाइम होता है उस टाइम पे बहुत ही ज्यादा सिग्निफिकेंट रोल वहां पे अदा करते हैं ना, इट प्लेड अ सिग्निफिकेंट रोल। ओके, नाउ क्वेश्चन नंबर नेक्स्ट 17, which literary device involves presenting events earlier in time to interrupt the chronological flow of a narrative? Then what should be correct? Chronological flow, फ्लैशबैक। अभी जस्ट हम
flashback.
लोगों ने फ्लैशबैक को देखा है कि क्रोनोलॉजिकल फ्लो को
जी.
नरेट करता है ना, इंटरप्ट करता है। देन फ्लैशबैक। नेक्स्ट
Okay.
क्वेश्चन, क्वेश्चन नंबर 18, व्हाट डिड विक्टोरियन सोसाइटी सोशल रियलिज्म फोकस ऑन इन लिटरेचर? देन व्हाट शुड बी करेक्ट?
Depiction of contemporary social issues.
सोशल इशू, वेरी नाइस। यही चीज उनके वर्क में देखने को मिलता है, जो प्रेजेंट में प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं। Nikshate, who wrote the Jungle Book? Yes, during
Rudyard Kipling.
1890.
Rudyard
Yes, Rudyard
Rudyard
Kipling.
Kipling.
Very nice. Yeah, today's last question. Which literary device involves a sudden realization or revelation experienced by a character? What should be
Epiphany.
correct? Yes,
Epiphany.
very nice. Epiphany. Okay, now here is a completed 20 question and the Victorian era is completed. Okay, now next class we will cover Edwardian period. Do you have any doubt? Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome
Thank
everyone.
you.
Welcome
Thank you,
everyone.
sir.